What was it like sparring with Sweet Pea and being in camp with Pernell Whitaker?
Oh my
man?
God. I mean, honestly, I don't need to blow smoke up anybody behind, and I'm definitely not gonna do me. But coming out of Philly, I was just the best there was. I mean, I was in the era with Meldrick Teller and Tyrell Biggs and all those guys, and there are other legends, but still, I was one of the best. And I was in there with Pernell Whitaker, man. Nobody ever put a whooping on me like Pernell did, man. I mean, this guy was just so slick, so phenomenal, man. I mean, you could barely hit this guy, man. I mean, he was just phenomenal, man. I mean, I guess God just gifted Pernell with something that, I don't know, he just didn't gift nobody else with. I mean, this man had hand speed. You couldn't touch him. I don't care how close you was to this guy, you could not touch him. And I had pretty good fast hands, and I know Meldrick did too. I'd never seen him and Meldrick spar each other. And I know they've been in camp a lot. And I know they probably have. And there probably are tapes of them sparring, but it hasn't been leaked. But, man, Pernell was something phenomenal.
So what do you think made him so hard to hit?
I mean, he just had that sixth sense, man. He knew when you was ready to throw a certain punch at him, he wasn't there. When you thought he was there, he wasn't. When you did hit him, you had to be lucky and fortunate to hit him. And them times when I fought him, he was still young. So he was still loose, fluid, could move. It was just so many things about this guy, man. I remember when he fought, and I talk about it all the time. I don't know why this is stuck in my head, but I remember when he fought Roger Mayweather, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy, dog. He actually pulled this man's shorts down and hit him. Who does that? Who can do that? Pernell. So it was great, man. It was good being in camp with him. He taught me a lot. And then actually with him was my first camp. I actually went to him with my first camp when I was getting ready for the Philip Holiday fight. I was in camp with Pernell Whitaker, Arturo Gatti, Robbie Pinner, and David Tua.
That's a hell of a camp.
That's a hell of a camp. A hell of a camp.
What'd you think of the Pernell Whitaker De La Hoya fight?
I was in camp with Pernell for that fight. And I mean, honestly, I was trying to figure out, and I still figure out to this day, like, I love the fact that Pernell, because when me and Pernell first sparred in camp, when I was getting ready for the Philip Holiday fight, I never forget it, the first day we sparred. And the week before that, I had came down, but I didn't train. I just was down there to see. He sparred, I can't remember, he sparred a kid from Dallas, Texas, man. He beat this kid so bad, man. Well, he wasn't a kid. He was a young man. He had to be like 23, 24. Man, he beat this kid so bad, man. He had this kid crying. They asked the kid, did he want to stay or did he want to leave? And the whole thing that really made me know that this camp was a professional camp was that they told the kid he could stay or he can go home. If he decided to go home, they was still going to give him the money that they was going to pay him to be there the whole time, and he still had like another 4 weeks. They gave him the money and sent him home. And then I had to spar Pernell the next week, and he spanked me. I ain't cry, but he spanked me. I had a real bad day. I was really upset. And I'll never forget, God rest his soul, Bob Warren came over to me and said to me, look, Ivan, he said, Pernell does this to a lot of guys. He said, look, we'll send you home, and we'll send you home with your pay, or you want to stay. And I swear to God, I'll never forget. I said, Bob Warren, what's my name? He like, your name Ivan Robinson. I said, where am I from? He said, Philly. I said, we don't go home, dog. We don't do stuff like this. I mean, I take an ass whooping from the best fighter in the world. You think I'm going to go home? No, I'm staying. So I stayed the next day, man. I put something on Pete, man. It was like, oh, my God. I was like, yeah. It was like, okay. From that day on, Pernell called me kid. He always called me kid. So camps was great. The camp with De La Hoya, I didn't understand why they wanted to use me because I wasn't a power puncher. I was a guy that threw a lot of combinations and punches. So they wanted me to make sure that Pernell was still on the slip game and still knew how to get out of the way of punches, man. First 2 weeks, it wasn't no problem at all. Pernell was at what he was supposed to be at, all his movements, his slip and his slide, his counter punches, all that. I actually thought Pernell beat Oscar. I really did. But he didn't get it. But, it was what it was. Man, I love Pernell, man. That's my man.
So would you say he got a gift in that fight, De La Hoya?
When he lost?
No, yeah, when he lost to Pernell, would you say he got a gift?
Yeah, I think Oscar got a gift. Oscar got a gift in a couple fights, but you know, it is what it is.